I promised everyone that I would make a weight loss video. I have gotten a lot of requests on how I lost all of my weight. It was a struggle, that was for sure. I am filming inside of my my salon office, so if you hear a lot of salon talk in the background, I'm very sorry. It was either filming here or at home, and I'm pretty sure that y'all would appreciate the salon talk rather than hearing a 5 and a 3-year-old screaming bloody murder in the background. So I wanted to get this done before I start my day, so I've come in a little early to film this video for you. I've made a couple notes to kind of make this go by a little faster and to be a little bit more thorough, so I'm not constantly repeating myself. This video is a little different than what I am used to filming. If you're new to my channel, scroll through my videos and you'll see that this is a very, very different video, very different topic than what I'm used to filming. I film a lot of wax tutorials. I am an esthetician. A lot of wax tutorials, waxing techniques. Just recently this year, I have struggled with losing weight and keeping it off, and a lot of people are asking how I did it, and this is my story. So I've always been on the thinner, petite, thicker side. When I say that, I've always been thin, short, but with a thicker bottom. I've always had muscular legs. I was always semi-athletic. I barrel raced in high school. I was in weightlifting throughout high school. Fast forward to my 20s, I filled out a little bit more because I didn't weightlift very much. I started putting on a little bit of weight, so I lost a lot of muscle tone. I received my first breast augmentation in 2009, and that seemed to kind of balance out my body a little bit. I had breasts, but they didn't balance out my body. Like I said, I had a thicker bottom, and it didn't balance out very much. I always looked unproportioned to me. So I received a breast augmentation in 2009, and that seemed to really balance out a lot of my body type. So from then on, I kind of looked more of your average body type. Fast forward again to December 19th, 2011, 7 years ago today. Today is my anniversary. I got married. On March 7th, 2013, I had my first child. Now that pregnancy was very, very hard. I just remember I was put on high risk because of a pregnancy that I was placed on high risk because of a failed pregnancy back in 2008. So the doctors really wanted to keep a close eye on me. I was very sick. My body couldn't handle a pregnancy very well. I almost remember that I just almost couldn't function. So I was losing a lot of weight before I really gained any, and there towards the end, I remember gaining a lot of weight. I just remember it was so hard for me to function. It was hard for me to be active. It was hard for me to be social. And whenever you feel so run down like that, you don't want to be social. You don't want to go and be active. You don't want to have this lifestyle of happy-go-lucky, oh, I'm pregnant, I want to show it off. You know, you want to stay inside and just kind of be a hermit and be alone. And you know, I suffered and my husband suffered, and you know, we suffered together. And you know, whatever I didn't eat, I gave it to him. And so it's kind of like that saying, like, you know, I was pregnant and so was he. So after I had my first child, I wanted to get my body back. Things were going slow. I could have dedicated more to my diet, but to be honest, I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about dieting. I knew to eat less. I knew to eat better. So if I was going to eat bad, I was just going to eat less of it. And if I was going to eat good, I was going to eat a shit ton of it. You know, I didn't know proper ways of eating, and I guess the lack there of education just really slowed me down of being successful. Fast forward to, again, to September 22nd, 2015, I had my second child. Now, my first pregnancy was hard. My second pregnancy was even harder. Everyone says, well, the second pregnant, you know, being pregnant again and having your second child is always easier. And I'm just like, who are these people to, you know, assume that everyone's body is the same? Because I'm over here just like counting the days till I'm done. You know, to me, I can birth a child all day, every day. Give me a spinal tap and I can birth a child all day, every day. Carrying a child for 9 months, literally, I felt like it was killing me. I go back again. I don't want to be social. I don't want to be active. I just want to stay. It felt like that first trimester all through the 9 months. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to do anything. And just like clockwork, I lost the weight before I gained it. And whenever I gained it towards the end of the pregnancy, I gained it. I was in bed a lot. I wasn't on high risk on my second pregnancy because I did have a successful pregnancy on my first one. So they said if I did have any complications that they would then put me to high risk, but I didn't have any complications, so it was fine. Soon after I had my second child, I spent a year trying to get back into the swing of things. Once again, not really knowing what I was doing. I joined a gym and I just knew that I had to go consistently, do what I needed to do for long periods of time and build my stamina, build my endurance, and burn calories. And it felt good. It felt really good. But then again, you know, I wasn't seeing that dramatic change that I was seeing my friends make. And that goes back to the diet. You know, it wasn't anything that, you know, I purposely knew that I was doing wrong. It's just what I knew. After about a year of doing that, I finally reached out to a friend of mine. I reached out to her. She works at a doctor's office, and she said, I told her a lot of the symptoms that I was having, you know, that I was frustrated and that my lack of motivation because I wasn't seeing any results, and my lack of motivation, period. You know, I didn't feel like I used to. I understood that my body was never going to be the same, and I had come to terms with that after having children, but when was I going to bounce back? You know, it's been a year. I felt like it was supposed to be my time to shine, and I wasn't shining at all. Like, I felt like I'm not even 30 yet, and I feel like I should be bouncing back by now, and I'm not. She said, Cara, it sounds like you have a lot of maybe hormonal issues. Did you ever go back to the doctor after you had kids? And I'm like, no. I mean, they always said that I should have, but, you know, I mean, I have newborns. One of them had colic, and the other one, you know, was my second child, and I'm over here chasing the first one while trying to breastfeed the other. And it's just, you know, I got stuff to do. It's one of those things that we always put ourselves on the back burner. So it's just one of those things where I just never made time for myself to go and get checked out and to get regulated, and now is that time to go. So she made me an appointment, and I went and talked to the doctor. They drew my levels, and waiting for those levels were forever. It seems like it took forever. It only took a few days. Whenever they called me back, I had to make an appointment to go back in. And whenever I went back in, the doctor explained to me, she said, your levels are normal, but considering that, and I am severe ADD, considering that with my condition, why don't we change some of these things that are a little different? So my thyroid was on the low range, so which was still within normal range. It was on the low end of the on the low end of the range. So, and please forgive me if I am using the incorrect terminology, but this is just how I understand it. So she has put me on the thyroid a thyroid medicine to up my thyroid, to make it more hyper, and to kind of speed up my metabolism even more. She also put me on a spironolactone to help me with my hormonal acne. She put me on Topamax to help me with my overeating, my portion control. And she also put me on phentermine. Now, if anyone knows anything about phentermine, it is very controversial. I've took it before in the past, and I've done really, really well on it. A lot of people that have took it before, they say that they have horrible results with it. They always go back to with the weight that they were before, or they always gain after they stop. I've always had really good results with it. With me being severe ADD, it still gives me that energy, but instead of making me just like spaz out, it really just mellows my attitude. It mellows my whole demeanor. And instead of making me ragey, like most women claim that it does, it makes me very, very happy. So, I mean that's a good benefit to me. So, I've been on those all year. So you put that with, I started on that, and then she gave me a bunch of education on diet. Told me what I needed to do, told me what I needed to cut out, told me how frequently I needed to eat. Apparently me eating once a day and then eating twice as many calories as I was supposed to have a day was not very good for me. Go figure. So she gave me a bunch of education. So finally I have the medication to get my body back to where it was before I had kids, to make it feel where I was before I had kids, which is what I've been waiting on for that whole entire year after having my second child. And now I have the tools and the knowledge to eat correctly, and now I can go to the gym and do my workouts and start seeing everything effectively. Seeing the weight fall off is what I'm hoping. Food that I got really used to eating, I eat like protein shakes at home. I'm a creature of habit. I will find a few things and I will stick to those just few things. I don't really venture out very much. I will find a handful of things and stick to just those. So every morning I will grab a Premier protein shake, have 2 bananas and 2 spoonfuls of yogurt, and blend that up, and every single morning I will have that for breakfast. And I will not eat lunch, and then in the evening time I will either have chicken and vegetables, or I will brown up some bison meat and cook some green peppers and garlic and onions with it. And that has hardly any carbs, if any. And I will eat until I am very content and full. That has helped. And every single morning at 5 a.m., I will go to the gym for 2 hours at the most, an hour and a half at the least. I will do cardio, and then I will do weights. I've done that consistently, and I was seeing the weight falling off. I was seeing results. I was starting to feel like myself again. I was starting to feel like I had the energy. I was waking up before my alarm clock was going off. I was wanting to go do things with my children. I was wanting to go do things with my friends. I was looking for excuses to get out of the house. I was happier. I was wanting to go further with my workouts. It was a great change. Now, with the great changes in how I felt, came with the second part of why I'm making this video. The changes that I started seeing on the inside, I loved. The changes on the outside, on the scale, I started to love. The changes on the outside that I was seeing in my clothes was really emotional. and not in a good way. I was losing the weight and I was seeing fat pockets and loose skin in my leggings and in my pants. Me being a mom, that's what I live in. I don't wear jeans anymore. I wear leggings and tank tops and sweatshirts. That's all I wear. But it's almost like I looked better when I was bigger, with having solid fat stretch out my leggings and having a straight contour, rather than having loose skin and then having my underwear or my leggings like hug around that loose skin and cause this, I don't know, like this hugging effect and causing these rolls that didn't exist. It was conflicting for me, and it was very, I don't know how to explain it. I was so proud of myself for the goals I was hitting and the things that I was accomplishing and how I was feeling, but how I looked in my clothes and how I felt or how I looked on the outside, which seems very vain, but I didn't feel like my old self. But I kept going. I kept going. I didn't give up. I didn't come this far to stop. Because somewhere inside for some reason I kept thinking, well, maybe if I just kept going, it will go away. Maybe this is, you know, the kind of situation it'll get better, or it'll get worse before it gets better. And I just remember thinking, any minute now, it's gonna get better, and it never did. So here I am 7 months in, and I'm going to Key West with some family, and I ordered a 2-piece, and it's just like, it's like hugging into my loose skin on my stomach and on my legs, and it's giving me such high anxiety that I just remember putting on that bathing suit in the hotel room and wearing my shorts out to the beach, and then taking the shorts off on the beach, and then just like running, which felt like I was running, but I was like speed walking out into the water, and I was ashamed. And for what? I had spent months doing everything right. Why do we feel that way? I don't know. Because we're women, I suppose. We're mothers. I don't know. I don't know why we feel that way, but that's how I felt about myself. And it's at that whenever I was in vacation, and at that point that I knew I wasn't going to give up. I was going to keep going, and that I was going to come home, hit it even harder, and then I was going to book an appointment with the doctor that had gave me my breast augmentation and have him give me a tummy tuck. So I finished out my vacation in Key West with my family, and it was beautiful. I ate some badass food and ate the best food that I haven't had all year. Came home and really just hit it hard, as hard as I ever hit it all year, in the gym and with my diet. And I remember getting home and talking with my husband and my mother and asking them, you know, because they know what I've been going through all year, and then they know that how I felt about the loose skin. They know how I felt. So when I asked them, I said, hey, do you think that I need this? And when they agreed, because they knew that that's what would make me happy, it really made me feel better knowing that they were on my side. So no matter what, don't ever give up on being the better you, whether it's on the inside or outside, whether it's mental or with your health or anything. Don't give up, because it's about to get so much better.